everybody, and welcome to The Courageous Chick. I'm Shakia Mayer. I'm a licensed mental health therapist and personal development coach for professional millennial women. And I help women get clear, confident, and courageous so that they can boldly create the lives that they deserve. In this video, we're going to talk about the mindset mistakes that will stop your growth. Now listen. When we're younger, most of us have a creative imagination, right? And we build these fascinating worlds in our minds. We say that we can do anything. We feel like we can do anything, and we feel powerful and confident when we're little kids. But what happens as we grow up? Many of us lose that imagination. We lose the ability to daydream and to visualize. We lose or at least we tell ourselves that we lose the time to really go after what it is that we want. We become afraid of failure, and we go from wanting to grow and create and and wanting to be curious to survival mode. And as adults, many of us are stuck in survival mode where we are simply trying to get through the day. We are trying to get through the week. There's so much going on, from your responsibilities at your job, your responsibilities as a leader in your community, and maybe your responsibilities at home. And so, because of all of these responsibilities, and because of some of the mindset mistakes that I'm going to talk about in a minute, we don't go after what it is we want because we feel like we have to survive. You feel like you have to stay in the job that you don't like because you need it, you need the money in order to pay your bills. You feel like you have to stay in a relationship that you've outgrown because you don't know what's on the other side. You don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know what's going to happen if you break up with this person. You stay in situations that stop your growth because you don't know what's going to happen. And in fact, that's one of the first mindset mistakes that we make, which is we fear change. A lot of you aren't growing to the level that you know you can because you are afraid of change. So you stay in situations and relationships and jobs. You stay in those situations, because they are your place of comfort. This is your safety net. This is your safe zone. And you say to yourself, anything outside of that is too scary. I don't want to do it. And so you don't challenge yourself anymore to go out and embrace change. You don't challenge yourself anymore to do something different because what if everything changes? You really have those conversations with yourself. I know you do. We all do it from time to time, especially those of you who are new to, developing a stronger mindset, a confidence mindset, a wealth mindset, a growth mindset. When you're new to that, you're still in that place of what if everything changes? I was working with somebody and we were having this conversation about change and why they haven't gone after. Actually, they did. They applied to a job, they got an interview, they got the job. But they had been at their current job for an extended period of time now. And so the response was, nah, I ain't doing that. If I leave where I am, I don't know what's going to happen. If I leave my current company, I don't know how it's going to be if I go to that other company, so I won't do it. When you fear change, when you don't embrace change, you stop your growth from happening, because now you're blocking all opportunities that might come your way, because every new opportunity is a chance for change. And so your mind, which is in survival mode, and your mind is going to do what you direct it to do. You give your mind directions. And because you're giving your mind directions, even if it's on a subconscious level, you don't take that next step. You don't try something different. You stay in your comfort zone, which will stop your growth. The second mindset mistake that a lot of people make is that they procrastinate. And I don't mean they procrastinate on a paper. You know, when you were in school, how many of us, listen, I know I'm not the only one, who had to write a paper and we would wait to the very last minute. I was notorious for it. I could tell you some stories, but that's for another video. But I'm not talking about just writing papers, you know, the night of their deadline, or applying to filling out applications the day that it's due, or working on a project a week before or a few days before you have to present it. All of those things we definitely don't want to do, right? Procrastination, we want to move from procrastination to action, but those are on the lower end. And when I say lower end, I definitely don't want to minimize them. However, some people procrastinate in even bigger ways. They wait, they don't act at all. And they say, you know what, I have plenty of time to figure it out. I have plenty of time. And maybe you do that with the paper, but maybe you also do that with advancing your career. Maybe you do that with taking the next step so that you can be the leader that you want to be. You know, maybe you procrastinate so that you don't, you know, work on your leadership skills so that you can manage a team and that you can move up in a company. You say, I have time. I have so much time. I'm only this age. I got all the time in the world, until you realize time is ticking, honey. And while life is a constant journey, and while we are always learning, if you allow yourself to, you know, in that sense, we have some time, but why wait to figure it out when you can figure it out now? I remember, you know, when I was younger, I was 20. How old was I? A little older than 20. I had just graduated from undergrad. So yeah, I was older than 20. Maybe 22. I don't know. It's a long time ago. I had just graduated from undergrad, and I thought I had all the time to figure out what I wanted to do. I had an idea. I knew that I would go into counseling, but I knew that that wasn't the end all. I knew that wasn't the end of the story. I knew that there was going to be more to my life than becoming a mental health counselor. While it's something I am absolutely proud of and I love the type of work that I do, I knew that I would be doing more. And I said, you know what? I have time. And so I put a lot of time and energy on, you know, increasing my skills as a counselor, which of course I want to do because I'm working with people in very real situations. But I noticed I neglected a lot of the other things I was interested in because I thought I had time. Until one day you wake up and you're like, damn, where did the time go? So we don't want to procrastinate. That is a mindset mistake. Thinking you have more time when actuality, all you have is now. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. You don't know what's going to happen from one moment to the next. Things change so often and so fast. Life happens. And because life happens, you want to embrace all that comes along with life, which is why you want to embrace change, and which is why you don't want to wait. You don't want to wait until you're a certain age to start thinking about a goal or thinking about the direction you want to take in your life, whether it's personal or professionally. Act now, not impulsively, but act now. What is it that you want? What is it that you want out of life right now? Because guess what? What you want now may change, and that's okay. What you want at 20 may not be what you want at 30, and that's okay. But you're going to allow yourself to build on these experiences. That's living. And that's how you find out what you actually want from life. That's how you find out what your passion is, what, you know, your purpose is, by doing. So definitely do not procrastinate. Now, along with procrastination is waiting for everything to be perfect. That's a mindset mistake we have. Perfectionism. When I work with my clients, we talk a lot about perfectionism. As a therapist, I work with both men and women. And what comes up all of the time is perfectionism, especially when I'm working with my clients who are women. And everybody wants to be perfect. You know, they were the straight A students in school. They were the people who started off in their careers and they were doing really well, and now they feel like they've hit a plateau. They feel like they aren't given opportunities to really shine and to really be the leaders that they want to be. Their self-esteem has been impacted by not rising to the next level, not getting to the next level, not getting that promotion. And they feel like, oh my God, what does that say about me? Because they are striving for perfection. And so sometimes people don't act, they don't take that next step because they are waiting for perfect. They're waiting for that perfect moment to ask. They're waiting for that perfect moment to act. They're waiting for that perfect moment to lead. They're waiting for that perfect moment. When you do that, you kill your dreams. When you do that, you stop your growth because nothing is perfect. There will never be a perfect time to do anything. You can plan, certainly. You can try and prepare, absolutely. And yet, life happens, which is why we want to be flexible. Nothing is perfect. So, you want to embrace change. You don't want to procrastinate, and you don't want to wait for perfect. Another mindset mistake that people make is being afraid to fail. Now, I know so many of you have heard this recently, or even more recently, that you want to fail, right? And it's not some cliche BS like, oh, fail because it's pretty, fail because it feels good. Hell no. When you fail, when you're in the midst of a failure, because it's a perceived failure, when you're in the midst of that, that shit don't feel all that great. Now if I offended you, if I cursed, my apologies. But listen, it doesn't feel great in the moment. At least not for me. And I just gotta tell you, from my experience and from working with my clients, in the moment it doesn't feel good. Because you're like, damn, how did I mess this up so badly? That's that initial mindset, right? That's that initial fixed mindset. But we're going from the fixed mindset to the growth mindset, the confidence mindset, the wealth mindset, which means we're going to allow ourselves to fail. So we can't be perfect every time. We can't dot every I. We can't cross every T. We cannot be perfect every time, which means there will come those moments where we fall down. There will come those moments where we fail. And that is absolutely okay. So we go from feeling like, damn it, I messed up and I'm a big old failure, to, you know what? I didn't get it right this time. I didn't hit the mark the way I wanted to this time. But as I'm getting up from this fall, I'm going to use this experience to my benefit so that when I go after it the next time, I got this. So a lot of y'all, talking, I see on my social media, everybody talking about working and going after the bag and all this stuff, right? Trying to make money, trying to make moves and things happen and making things happen for you and in your life. But you can't go get your bag if you're afraid to fail, or if you're afraid to embrace change, or if you are afraid to embrace new opportunities. You're not going to really propel to the level that you want to get to, because you keep stopping yourself from growing. You stop yourself from getting there. So we have to learn to embrace failure like a pro. We have to learn to embrace failure. That happens in life. We're not perfect, and that's okay. Sometimes good enough is good enough, and that's okay. So I want you to not do any of these things that I talked about in the video, so that you can have a growth mindset and you can get everything that you want from your life, so that you can take control over your life and create the life that you want. You know that what's going on right now is not what you want. So that means we have to change the mindset, because I believe that change starts in the mind. So remember, these are the 4 mindset mistakes that a lot of people make that stop them from growing. Of course, there are more, but in this video, I just gave you 4. Not embracing change. The second is procrastinating. The third is waiting for perfect. And the fourth is not allowing yourself to fail. We want to do the opposite. so that we can get to where it is we want to go. I hope you took something away from this video. Let me know some of the mindset mistakes that you've noticed that you make that might be stopping your growth. As always, I hope that you have a courageous day. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I will talk to you all really soon. Bye.